to another episode of Staying Uncomfortable, and if you are a new listener, welcome to the show. In today's episode, we're talking about something that a lot of us could potentially relate to, because all of us have, at some point in our life and career, have gone to this tick-tock, making sure that we are hitting the deadline. And that really is something that we all kind of go through, especially with today's world. In today's world, there's a lot of distraction and we focus on a lot of procrastinating.
Yeah, 95% of the world procrastinates. So you're not alone in this.
We're with you. I take fully responsibility here as well, that I do participate in this. In fact, that leads me to, I guess sometimes produce actually quality work, and we'll talk about that more into this segment on what and how and why.
Yeah, procrastination it goes just beyond work too, right? It could be in your personal life, whether you're not having that uncomfortable conversation with somebody. It could be like you're putting off school, you're putting off homework. There's so many things that procrastination affects, and that's what we want to talk about today is really the tips on how to not procrastinate, or at least get over it. And so first step, they say, right, with any problem is recognize that you have a problem. So recognize that you are procrastinating. So two ways, right? One is you notice yourself starting something and then suddenly checking Instagram or checking Facebook or going to go get something to eat.
Yeah.
Or you're always saying to yourself, you know what, I'll do it when I'm in the right mental space, I'm in the right mood,
Zone.
That's when I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it when I'm in the zone. It's like you're not going to get in the zone until you start it.
Yeah, for sure. And I can, a great example is a lot of times I catch myself doing things like while I'm working on something, while working on a task, I'll go ahead and grab my phone, check Facebook or something. And that's why in one of the episodes that we talked about, which was why you should have a daily morning routine, that's why I find so much the flow and the zone in early morning, because there's no distractions that's happening, right? Yeah. But if you understand that you are procrastinating, that when you start a task and then you get sidetracked by some other stuff, that's a pattern in behavior that you should know that you are procrastinating at that point.
Exactly. Figure out a way when you're doing it. So recognize that you're doing it, and then figure out whether you're an active or passive procrastinator. So what that means is active procrastinators, and I know I'm this way, I believe you're this way too, sometimes I need to feel pressure to do my best work.
Yeah.
So if I know that I'm going to get something done in 10 minutes and I've blocked an hour to do it, I won't start until I've wasted 50 minutes. And then I'll do it in the next 10 minutes and I'll do amazing.
Yeah.
So that's the active procrastinator.
Okay.
And then you've got the passive procrastinator who's just like, you know what, I just don't feel like it. You know, I need to do this. I know I've got to do this. And you just keep distracting yourself.
Yeah. And especially I think being an active procrastinator, I think especially for me, I know that sometimes all I need is just an hour and I can knock out all the work that needs to be done, right? But I've understood that I perform better when I'm in that situation. And it doesn't matter how much I try. Like, for an example, right? If I have to do a presentation on Thursday, or do any type of reporting on Thursday, I know for a fact, Monday through Wednesday, that if I even try, I don't think I can produce good quality work, but if I do it Thursday morning, within 20 minutes, it's done. So if you're like that, which is completely okay, but just know that you're an active procrastinator.
Exactly. So now we've said, hey, recognize when you're procrastinating, figure out if you're an active or a passive procrastinator, and then figure out why are you procrastinating? What is it about the task at hand that you're procrastinating? Is it just that it drains your energy, you don't like doing it? Or is it something that's so big, like writing a book or, like you said, a presentation,
Yeah.
you're just so overwhelmed because you have so much knowledge in your head that it all needs to come out, you just don't know where to start.
And I think to give you a great example, right? So let's talk about how can you actually come over or battle the procrastination, right? Number one is figure out what your goal is, right? Whatever you're trying to achieve. And break that into smaller tasks. So, for an example, if you're looking to write a book, right? I know people that have taken a year or 2 years to write their books, right? because your goal is so big, you really want to kind of create small tasks, right? So maybe just start one day. Start with 1 day writing a page. That's it. Write a page every single day.
And it's as simple as that. Have an accountability friend, right?
Yeah.
That one page that you wrote, call up somebody and say, listen, call me tomorrow, I better have this one page done.
Yeah.
So having that accountability friend, one is like, someone's gonna check in on you so you feel bad if you don't do it. Plus, you don't wanna look like a fool at the end of the day for not following through on your words. So as human beings, we're all very, we trust people when they follow through on their word, right? Integrity.
Yep.
So integrity is what comes into stake when you have an accountability friend.
Yeah, and in one of the other episodes that we talked about, which was the 7 friends that you should definitely surround yourself with. And if you don't have a friend, someone like this that is going to require integrity, because if you miss the deadline, like they're gonna lose trust in you and they'll never trust you again, right? And that's a scary thing. So if you don't have somebody like that, hire a coach. Coach is a great option, right? So now you have somebody that can actually help you and hold you accountable for the things that you have to complete.
Yeah. And if you don't, reach out to us. hi@stayinguncomfortable.com.
Yeah.
We'll be your accountability.
Yeah, we'll be your accountable friend. So reach out and ask us. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other side of that, right, is we went sort of the, hey, hold yourself accountable. The other side of that is promise yourself a reward. Let's say you have a paper due and there's 50 pages that you need to get done. At every 2 page, you give yourself a 10-minute TV break or a 5-minute relaxation break. Or like for me, I'm a big chocolate guy, so I'll do a little chunk of dark chocolate. I'm like, you know what, you can eat it if you focus for 1 hour.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times we forget to reward ourselves. I personally have a hard time rewarding myself, but if you think about any sports or any type of activity, right, at the end of it, there's a reward, right? You are fighting through the whole entire season, and at the end of it, you get a ring, and then you go celebrate. You have a parade, right? So like, why not celebrate your wins and celebrate what you're actually accomplishing in life? We forget to do that a lot. Honestly, I think we take ourselves too seriously, and sometimes you really just got to be able to be good to yourself.
Yeah, celebrate yourself, reward yourself.
Yeah.
You're doing your best, and we're all with you in the sense that we 95% of us procrastinate. So don't feel bad. Like it's okay. We all do it.
You're not the only one. I procrastinate, like as I said, like I'm the first one to say, like I do it all the time. So you don't have to feel alone. Like we're all doing it.
Exactly. And when you are about to overcome that, so the way you do it is instead of saying I need to do this,
Yeah.
or I have to do this, say I choose to do this. So you don't feel like a victim when you have to do something that you're like, oh, I need to do this.
That's so powerful, man. That is so powerful. And the reason why that's so powerful is like what you say is what you think, and what you think is what you become, right? So now when you're saying that, it's like I choose to write this book, I choose to do this presentation, and like you're telling yourself like I'm actually going to have fun, I'm actually going to enjoy this. That is a very, very powerful thing to do, is when you change your mind.
Yeah, and you can also make it fun, right?
Yeah.
Which is again like laundry. These like daily tasks of being an adult sometimes are so draining. I know for me, I'm a big music guy and I love listening to podcasts, so I'll always have that in the background when I'm doing these tasks.
Yeah. Make it fun, right? Make it fun, make it enjoyable, and sometimes it's okay to like procrastinate. Like I hate doing my dishes a lot of times, so it's like, but you gotta get shit done.
Yeah.
Right? And then the last one is, which I think all of us are really bad at this. Especially me. I think you're somewhat good at this. But turn your fucking phone off. Or put it on airplane mode. Like, in today's world, from this device, we could do so much. You can find a girl on dating apps. You can connect, find a job. You can watch a movie, you can create a movie, you can listen to music, so much. Here's so much distraction in this small little device. So, when you are in that state of mind and you're procrastinating, learn to kind of turn this off.
Yeah, there's that one statistic, right? People check Instagram 80 times a day. And
Response.
let's say that 80 times is 1 minute per time, right? Every time you check it. That's 80 minutes. That's an hour 20 that you've wasted in your day.
Wow.
And from a percentage standpoint, I won't even get into the math, but if you think about, like, let's say you're sleeping 8 hours, 16 hours is what you have, right? Out of those 16 hours, if 80 minutes, are spent on that, that's like 10% of your day.
Yep. Or yeah.
Close, like 8 to 10% of your day. Why are you wasting it? My math may be totally off right now, but break it down, hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. So just learn to sometimes put this thing away, right? Because it can really get you distracted. So let's just recap here, right? So first of all, you have to recognize the pattern that you are procrastinating.
Yeah, and then figure out whether it's active or passive.
Yeah, and active is you choose to procrastinate because you know that the quality of work that you will produce is going to be amazing.
Exactly, and passive, you're just distracting yourself.
On purpose.
On purpose.
And so once you know that you're doing that, the tips are, number one, break the bigger goal into smaller tasks.
Yeah, and then have an accountability friend.
If you don't have that, hire a coach.
Or reach out to us.
Yep. And the next thing is that change the mind. Instead of saying, I need to, versus I choose to.
Exactly. Promise yourself a reward and make it fun.
Yep. And then learn to shut this goddamn thing off. And when I'm holding a cell phone, so people that are listening, just sometimes turn that damn thing off because it'll help you just get away from all the noise and distraction and just help you focus on yourself. So with that, I think, everybody procrastinates. There's 95% of the people in this world are. So you're not the only one. We do it. Everybody does it. But it's about how do you overcome that, right? And get the job done. With that, thank you for tuning into today's episode. We hope that you find this useful. Share this with somebody who's that could use some help or tips on procrastinating. And until next time.